here for a while.
Well, Rockstar Games, I respect for what they can do, like mechanically, but
Yeah, that's why people show up. That's why people stay.
they really are like masters of their art of
That's
that.
what, a librarian. I want to make
Of
a
their
trivia with them.
craft.
Yeah, masters of their craft with that.
Yeah.
But
And it's like we were saying, you have to play all sorts of other games to really get a sense of like how solid that this is. Like how
but
this is like a fucking Winchester rifle of a game.
Oh,
Like,
look
but
at
their
doggy.
stories are gonna die. That's
yeah, Sam and Dan and Leslie are gone. Like this is just it's gonna be the same as every other brand now. It's just a brand, it's just a name.
just
Bungie is just a
mechanics.
name. Infinity Ward is just a name. Volition is just a name.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be mechanics.
I don't doubt that they're still gonna be some of the most mechanically
Oh, that's so cute. There's a
adept
kill.
and varied
There's a
games
kid
under the sun,
villager.
but it's not going to be the same. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be like a Tarantino movie.
I found a kid villager. Do you know how cute that was?
But he thought he was cool.
See, like,
It's gonna be
why
like a
is he
Tarantino movie
just?
without Tarantino?
Yeah,
Or the next Half-Life if Gabe Newell died, or
well, the
last few
Half-Life 3
seasons of Game of
actually
Thrones
did came
without George
out.
R. R. Martin's guiding hand.
There is actually a Half-Life 3.
Not yet. I've heard it's going to be Half-Life Alyx. It's going to be like Half-Life in VR.
Yeah, no, it came out.
Half-Life 2 in VR. Yeah, I
Half-Life.
can't check it out because I don't have it's only on the PC. That's one thing I'm like I would build one for, but I'll never get around to it. I have such a backlog at this point that I'd be fooling myself if I said I'd ever check that game out. I would love to. I like cut my teeth on Half-Life, man. That was the first thing that showed me like narrative and story and like just mechanics in gaming.
Yeah,
That's
no.
Half-Life 2.
I would have to say a game like that's mechanically good and that's it is like a sandbox, Gary's Mod sandbox, which it goes off the Half-Life engine.
Yeah, it's all
Valve.
based off of the
Wait, that's
groundbreaking
Valve, right?
physics of the Source engine.
Wait, is
Yeah,
it
it's
Source
Valve.
Engine or Valve? Yeah, it's Valve.
And it's the Source engine. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, when I played that game, like it blew me away. Like just being able to pick up stuff because this was coming from
Because
kids who
Valve
grew up
also
on, like,
created like Portal 2 and fucking.
yeah, Portal was inspired off of a college art student project called Helio Drop or Gravity Drop or something like that. It looks like the Aperture Science informational videos that you see with those little like 2D animations and stuff. That's what the college students game looked like, so it's kind of a little homage and a nod to it in the game. Is Oak's voice set to share?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
here.
is.
Oh,
I have mine's automatically like that for other reads. For my friend's
Yeah,
channel.
man, because we did that
begin
with a
with.
whole we did a whole 2 hour and fucking some minute episode and we didn't even get the
we
guy's
have like
Yeah.
30 minutes of just nothing because we were letting him talk. We getting shot at?
yeah.
There's starting to get griefers in that game, I heard.
Not really, not as much as GTA, but it's only really if you go to like the town areas, right? I don't even know where the shots were coming from.
It's this guy over here.
Oh
Back up,
Jesus.
sir. Back up. Oh! Shit!
That was funny as shit. I was in no. Well, shit.
Warman! Oh, fuck! It locked on automatically.
Oh shit, I died. My story's
Stop
over.
by
My
Tony
story.
Miasos.
What's today's podcast gonna be, Beth?
I don't know. We just usually do
We just
episodes
gotta
and
start
it's
getting
just
a
like
flow going, and then hopefully we get like a because we try to make that's why it's called genuine podcast because we try to just go like, hey, what's up, Genuine Podcast? This is episode 20. We're talking about women
shit.
in
That's
games.
not. That's
And
not. That's
it's
not
hard to be
genuine.
dynamic without sounding like every other podcast. Like, so, do you guys have any examples of women in games? Do you, Ben? We're gonna go to the next person now. Do you? All right, now we're gonna segue to the final
Yeah,
segment.
we're like we're just trying to be like as
You trying to be
honest.
different than everyone else?
I wouldn't really say different. Like I'm sure there's some people that do
We
what we
want to
do.
be genuine.
Yeah, we're just trying to be genuine. Like
We're
this is
trying to
like
be
a
us.
normal. Yeah, like we're not trying to do what anyone else is doing. But if we're doing what other people are doing, then that's just
That
what we're doing.
is- Wow. The
What?
fact that you can see the sunlight through your ear, that's just mind blowing.
Imagine this game with like retracing on it.
Yeah, man, ray tracing is gonna be
Insane,
it's gonna
yeah.
revolutionize our
Yeah,
phone.
no, I'm gonna be.
It's also gonna
that-
make it when you go back to even something you thought was pretty, and you're like, wow, this lighting
Yeah,
is...
I've seen Minecraft with the
Ruining me.
retracing because a bunch of people are getting that for Minecraft.
Yeah, it manipulates the way our eyes play with light in real life. Like, it looks like you're looking at real shit.
Yeah. Alright, I don't know where you're at, but we need to get the fuck
Even
out of
more
here.
so than, and I know a lot of people will get it, like, it looks like you're looking at real shit, but this is one of the best looking games on these systems right now, but it's a whole nother level of what ray tracing does with the light.
Yeah,
Guys.
because this game, like, it looks nice, but I could only imagine what this game would look like with retracing.
I ordered a PlayStation Pro yesterday.
Meet
So I
me,
just wanted to- a lot of
many
games
of
to
those
play.
at this point.
meet me where the camp is, because I don't know where you are, and I'm not going in there. Meet me, like, by the water or some
I
shit.
bought the Star Wars PlayStation Pro. I sold that to a guy in the Bronx in New York. I then bought the God of War PlayStation Pro. That's now at my brother's house in Roswell. Sold that to him for $200, and now I got the Death Stranding PlayStation Pro.
Have you ever actually made any money off your PlayStations? Or no?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Hold up. So, like, how much money, you make, would you say? Just
It's like asking a man how he fucks his wife.
Oh, good point. No, I'm just curious, cause like, cause it doesn't sound like $200 for like a God of War PlayStation.
Well, for me, I'm just a single guy. I can spend that kind of money. Other people can't.
Yeah, that's true. So meet me by Wallace Station 8. You know, that's up by Strawberry.
Alright.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't really know how to. I feel like even if I did have a bunch of money, I still wouldn't really know how to spend it unless I was getting into like stocks and stuff and like day trading.
I'll probably spend it on video games, honestly, if I have a bunch of money.
Yeah, like I don't know.
You
If
do
I had
that
to-
at first, then you develop a shame pile of, like, Fantasy Life on DS, Metroid Prime Samus Returns, then you have fucking Lego Worlds on the Switch, Breath of the Wild with all the Season Pass content, still haven't beat it 3 years later, fucking Rick and Morty Virtual Reality, Apex Constructs, Trover Saves the Universe,
How are they Apex Constructs?
Republic. Oh, I love it. It's one of the killer apps for VR, but I don't have enough room to play it right now anyway whatsoever.
What type of
house is
game will I
different
get for
than when
VR
bought
when I
it.
get it?
But it's definitely, yeah, that's one that I would definitely recommend. Apex Constructs, Pixel Ripped 1989, Rick and Morty Virtual Reality, The Invisible Hours. Also,
Wait, so how many games would you say you have like in total? Like, cause I know I looked at your thing and it said 232 or some shit like that. Like,
yeah, that's just digital games. You mean like games that I need to play, like games that I'm like, I need to get to this?
no, like just in total, like overall, how many would you say you have?
I don't know, probably over 1,000.
Jesus. Would
Have
you
a
say it
whole
was
box
worth
of-
it?
Dusty, yeah, I don't really care. Everything is ephemeral. There's people that have spent all that on condoms and they've fucked a bunch of women that are not on.
True, true.
If
Yeah,
they didn't
nah.
even use condoms, and now they're spending that on child support.
It's crazy too, 'cause you hear all these stories about people that just gained all this money, and it's like, where did it all go? And 99% of times, it's women.
Oh, believe
Unfortunately.
me, dude, I spend just as much money on my hobby as dudes spend on women or women to talk. Like, I'm a minimalist guy, but when I spend on myself. Like, I just bought the Animal Crossing Switch because I
But
got
that's
tired
at
of my
least
home.
an ROI. Like, you get an ROI out of that. With the girls, it's like you
Yeah,
can get
but
an
people can look at
ROI.
it like anything. It's plastic crap that fills a void in your existentialist existence of no family and no actual real roots to put down. So all you have is materialism and consumerism and hedonism. But I could
Yeah.
say that about fantasy football or people that just have kids because they did not think about what they were doing and they're like, fuck it, I'm a father now and I'm gonna act like I was responsible. It's like you weren't responsible, dude. You were being a porn star.
You're a
Shut
fucking
up.
other. You're just fucking like a rabbit.
Yeah, and then you happen to slip and you're like, well, now I got a son and now I'm gonna act like I'm a saint and I'm gonna act like these people who don't want to have kids are selfish assholes because they know how insane the world is.
Yeah.
It's selfish both ways. It's selfish to have children, and it's selfish to not have children.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you could say
Because
it's
those that
selfish.
usually are smart enough to not have children are the people that need to be having children and helping the human race better itself.
And the
Because
people
we'll
that
end up in
are
a
dumb.
dysgenic spiral. Yeah, the people that are dumb, the people that are just out there fucking like rabbits, they're the ones that are going to lower the IQ. They're the ones that are going to make it an idiocracy, which it already kind of is if you look at how stupid most people are. Don't think for a second that
What the
anyone is
hell?
thinks the way you do.
Welcome to building that's not 20 million iron blocks.
Huh?
Walk inside this 1 billion, it's not 20 million iron blocks.
Oh, nice. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Minecraft is still probably one of my favorite games because that game will forever evolve and you can make it into whatever you want to be. I mean,
It's a sandbox, pretty much.
yeah, I love sandboxes. I mean, you said you didn't like sandboxes, correct?
I used to, but not so much anymore. It's like I want more of a
Story,
like
something.
a direction, like more of an idea of where I'm going, not just like give me the world and expect me to be an avant-garde
I
game
feel like
designer or
you'd
like
like the
an auteur.
forest because the
Like right now,
forest
I was
is
just
like a
thinking,
mixture of sandbox and like
And Mr.
survival.
Librarian. And never
But
mind, I can't make a
it
trade with
but
the
it has a
librarian yet.
story though. It's about
I've always
big.
wanted to check it out. I've seen gameplay of it back when it wasn't on console, and I used to check out stuff that was on PC just because I knew it would eventually be on PS4. Because
Yeah.
that was the coolest thing about PS4 was that I just went away from the mainstream for the first few years, and I was like, let me check out all these games that I never had access to, like Jazz Punk, Bastion, fucking Surgeon Simulator, I Am Bread.
Yeah, where are you, by the way? How close are you?
Standing outside of some guy's cabin in the mountains on my horse.
Could you come to Wallace Station?
Yeah, where am I? Was Lonaval.
It's
This is
it's at the train tracks.
you know what I also realized I hate about online and things like this where it becomes a huge like the stuff you can get into in this game is probably immense and massive and the content that is laid out before me is like here, but again, without friends, without like a huge posse, and like without a reason to want to be here, it's just kind of. I rather would have had like, games are so fucking huge now that it just kind of is like a macrocosm.
It's
repeated
not your
from a
own
microcosm of
story.
life. It's like yeah, you just feel like a nobody. It's like, dude, I already know I'm a nobody. I feel like a fucking average Joe nobody in real life. I'm just some schmuck with a fucking day job, and I just do my job, and I. Probably posses of badass ranchers and cowboys out there somewhere, actual people that are like friends in real life and friends in the game, and they come home and like they role play and they're like outlaws or they're running around like those dudes that were in that town we just ran from. They look like real people. I'm like, I probably should get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And it's like you just feel like it's like I don't need to feel like I feel in real life. It's like I know I'm nobody. I know I'm fucking just some no one. Like in a gigantic, dynamic, asynchronous world where there is so many subgenres and genres of those subgenres going on of people's day-to-day lives that it's like I don't need to be
You
reminded of
feel
that. And
like
then
you're
games
living
come
like
into that.
regular life, not.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I'm in a video game right now. I am the main character in my own game, you know? Like my character can potentially do all the stuff that everybody else can do, but I just feel
Like you're
I've already been
working
left
too
behind.
hard to become someone.
Yeah, it's like that guy said, it's so dumb to think about games in the sense that you're a child if you think of it like he was saying that I'm a child if I want it to be handed to me, you know, if I want it to just be like my little toy that I can just pick up and play with. But
But
I would say in the
in
same respect that you are a child if you want both parts of your life, the serious, high stakes, real day-to-day reality you deal with, and it comes at you and spits in your face and screams at you and accuses you of theft and fucking begs you to get the job, you better get me the rent. Winter is coming, summer is coming,
and you're like
quarantine is coming, wear the mask
games.
or you lose the job. Yeah, and then you come home and you're like, why do I want to turn this
But
into a
you
gauntlet where I'm going to have temper
where
tantrums
you're
and
gonna have
potentially
to
get a nose hit?
spend like 8 hours when you could be making eight
Yeah,
hours at
I
work.
spend $60. I should be able to turn it on. Like, all this content, unless I want to treat Red Dead 2 like a free-to-play game, I can never actually access all this that I fucking
But their
own.
market
Whereas
is
if it was just a
kids where they have the time.
yeah, but if it was just a single player game where it wasn't like tied to their gold economy and all their like actual microtransactions that are now in this game, then I could just turn it on and play it at my leisure in a single player game, be like, oh, I want to mosey on down to the store and check out all these clothes or check out all these gun options or check out, but it just feels like I'm now pretending to be somebody in a world full of badasses, and it's like I'm just a nobody with a horse that joined the game too late and missed the starting gun. And that's what it feels like when games become huge, varied worlds to themselves where everyone else lives in them. You're like, why do I care, dude? I'm just fooling myself that everybody didn't already like. I would like whenever Grand Theft Auto Online started, and that guy walks up to you, and you're getting into the like last night. My sister and I got back on it. It had been years, and then you get introduced into what the world became, and like I was right about everything I said because again, I used to be so into this art form that I could call where a game was going 4 or 5 years off. I called it what they were going to do with Red Dead Online when I was playing Grand Theft Auto Online. I called it in 2016 that they were going to make that casino a thing eventually, and it was probably going to all tie together with a huge casino heist and fucking. I called all of that, and it just sucks to be right and not want to have anything to do with these worlds anymore. Like you've
Well,
got
you're right
everything you
about a
wanted.
lot of shit though. Like I remember that's one thing that kind of scares me about U8 is that like and it doesn't really scare me. It just surprises like there's a lot of things
The one
I
thing
feel
I know that
like
I'm talking about when I talk about them games, I don't know much, but I know the art form of games. I know
yeah, but you call
three.
things outside of games so that's what like I can understand it with games, but there's like a few things and even like having a conversation with one of my friends Arbiter like like how do you just have like I know it's probably because you do a bunch of research and stuff, but like you just have hours worth of content like just up your
Oh, believe me,
sleeve.
it's from that half decade that I didn't have a job and all I did was just sit around and watch documentaries and YouTube videos and podcasts and
Yeah,
I've
of
probably gone from
course.
more YouTube channels and podcasts and things that I used to follow religiously that were like, this is me, this is my identity. And then you just leave it all behind and you jettison, you jump off the plane and you open up the chute and see what else is down there. Like, man, if I went from like Talk Radar to Rage Select to JRE to Pop Laser Time, like so many podcasts, so many people that I don't, and I never will listen to or go back to again because you can't go home. When you change and you get older and you leave that behind that used to be you, that used to feel like it's a lot of what I try to speak to on this is with games and how I think about them. It's like what I was saying is I got everything that I ever wanted. I got all the presents that I wanted, and it's Christmas morning, and now I don't even want to open them up and play with them.
Yeah. No, that,
And that's a very existential thing. That's a very nightmare scenario for a kid that used to be like all about this shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Are
And
you nearly here?
I fucking got lost. I'm just walking. See, when I start getting in on a point, I forget what game there is, and I'm just like pressing forward on the stick just so I can keep forward on the train of thought in my mind.
Yeah, just meet me in Strawberry. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, it's been a
Like,
while.
just
But yeah, man,
some.
it's just like the part of me that's still the remnants of me that's still a gamer, and those are mostly gone now because I look at this art form much more differently, and that's why I said I'm not gonna make this like it is a sense of validation and a source of like if you don't play games on hard, if you've never ran for a spell or didn't all 1,777 stars in Mario 64 or whatever the fuck. If you don't 100% every game, it's like, no, man, I'm not going to make this hobby. I'm not going to turn this into what real life is. Like, this year alone, I've had my life threatened for my property, been stalked by a fucking idiot who thinks I stole from him for no goddamn reason. Couldn't tell you why. Wrong place, wrong time. Fucking then the quarantine happens. Now it's mandatory. You wear masks everywhere. Everybody's getting cordoned off. Like, real life is getting scarily real every day. And so why would I want to come home and turn games into anything more than just, I want to forget?
Yeah, of course. No, I completely understand that. No, like I even have moments like that where I'm just like of course I have the time for it, but it's like I could be doing so
You know what
much
I mean?
more.
Yeah,
Like,
if it's making you so angry, if there's still some part of you, even if it's not,
but
like
there's
you
still
said, you have the
parts of
time,
games. There is still
but you
some
know
parts
there's
of
other stuff
games
you could be
though
doing.
that I can respect it for. Like you can't just, cause like
Yeah, I'm not saying like that
yeah.
that's stupid for anybody else to look at like that. That is what gaming is. It's where the arcades came from. That's where
Well, here's
points and leaderboards and wanting to be the best and noobs. But there's that whole toxic mentality that I leave behind too, with like becoming an older adult man that just likes the art form rather than like I'm a gamer man and
well,
fuck
what I'm trying
noobs.
to
It's like
get at though
because you're a noob
is
to the rich.
well, what I'm trying to get at though is more ROI type shit where it's like how much time are you
Oh yeah, there's definitely
time
like
and money like
it's
in
a weird.
games, and this is where I respect games the most is like so like how you pay $20 for a movie, you get maybe 2 hours, maybe four if you rewatch it, right?
Yeah, and most of the time, most people don't rewatch a film. They like watch it and then they'll rewatch it maybe next holiday or next summer. Like you get,
Yeah,
if I've ever bought a Blu-ray back when I used to buy Blu-rays, like
yeah.
25 bucks, and you watch,
One
and then that's
film you
it.
might watch it like once or twice,
Yeah, you
and it's
watch it
like
with a pizza one Friday night, and that's it.
yeah, and it's like so if you so the ROI on that is 4 hours. You spend $60 on a game, you get minimum 8 hours, and that's so
Oh
let's say
yeah, I'm
all right.
not.
So let's say 2 hours for every $20. So with that, if you do the math, sixty
But then
dollars
you
would
add
be
on like
six
how big
hours.
these online
Yeah,
worlds are.
yeah. So
Years,
like
like
I do have a
6 years of content.
yeah. This is like, and then if you get into the bigger games like Red Dead, you might be getting 2 months worth or even more depending on how you play it and how you
No, with
pace
this
it.
game, it's probably like 3 or 4 years. Like legitimately with how much more content is in this online compared to the single player, it really does see me. I'm just like, man, I know that's again like why I'm not, if anything, preaching to any choir at all. I'm like my voice is echoing off the empty auditorium halls, and it's just like, does anybody else feel this way? I'm fucking
Yeah.
tired of being given so much. And then everyone's
I'm
like,
in
no, dude,
Strawberry.
you're weird. Go kill yourself. You're fucking weird, old man. Kill yourself.
Yeah, no, I don't think like, oh, do you think that's a weird thought to have? Like, 'cause you work at a Walgreens, correct? You
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
like, so do you want to go home every day to just play a game where you feel like a nobody because you're broke or you're not, you know?
I think I just go home from work, play video games just to get my mind off shit.
Yeah, but like if you're
But when it repeats when the macro of the game repeats, or no, when the microcosm in the game is repeating the macrocosm in your real life, it gets to you. It's like
Yeah,
So now I am just a nobody in this gigantic Western world because I just started, and now it's like it's overwhelming. It's like you're pretending to be like you're gonna catch up with the rich, with the powerful, with the upper echelon. It'd be like if I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna party with the Rothschilds and I'm gonna fucking kick Rumsfeld in the shin.
Would that get your mind off more than having to start out from the bottom in, let's say, Red Dead, where you have $0 to your name?
Or like, say if you join GT, if you're somebody joining Grand Theft Auto right now, and your mom just bought you like a used copy of GameStop, you're not getting shark cards, you're not getting anything. Good luck. Like, wow, that economy is brutal now. It's just a bunch of billionaire
it is.
kingpins that don't have time for you. You're nothing to them. That repeats the exact. That is how the rich see us. That's how like gamers never. That's why I got so disenfranchised with being one, because it's like you're a punk to them. Like you think that you're this big badass in this little digital world that someone created and is now more richer in a real life estate than you will probably ever be, and yet you don't see the like gamers never see how much that it's like as above so below. Like the rich will forever look at us like what's going on now with this pandemic, what's going on now with us losing our rights and our right to assembly, and people are calling the cops on people for being in parks and being outside, and people are getting scared and forcing you to wear masks everywhere, and no one voted for any of this, and no one knows what's going on. You just know that the world has changed and it's changed and will continue to change because they can do whatever they want. And
The
just
corpus can do whatever they want, not they. The corpus.
Yeah.
The corpus.
everybody in games,
Goddamn corpus.
there's always a corpus, and the people in these games are the equivalent of that, like the cowboys and the outlaws and the raiders, or like getting back into Grand Theft Auto Online now, the people that have seen the story to its end and like are like, you don't fuck with me, I'll have you and your family Kaiser Soze like 10 times over, I'll kill you and your entire crew, like we will find you and kill you, we'll send guys out, like they have so much money you can't fuck with them, they have every connection in Los Santos, like you will die.
And then you can't do anything.
Like, do you really? I don't know if you guys don't feel that because you don't. And I'm not even saying that everybody lives different lives, but like, I live a much different life than I did half a decade ago, and like, I have real stakes now, and I don't want to come home and then feel like, yeah, I'm fucking nobody. But if I'm willing to put the time in, I'm willing to. If I'm going to do that, I should be improving my actual real life.
Well, I don't know. I was talking to someone and he was telling me like about how like ambitious I was and like how I don't know. I'm tired of people talking about like, oh, you're so ambitious, like it'll probably never
Everybody's
work out.
ambitious when they're your age.
Yeah, I'll give it that. I'll give it that.
I got
but...
the just before you have life fucking crush your throat. And then just
Oh
like,
no, the only
Get up, I'll
thing
give you a
though
head
that I can say though is that for everyone that is ambitious, I truly believe it's that they're ambitious but they don't give it a shot. Or they're too scared to do this or that.
It's also because they don't know how hard it is to do anything.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
People
Like,
that everybody
trust
sits
me,
there
like,
from an armchair perspective nowadays. It's easy to watch anything,
like
download anything, critique anything.
for how big I want this podcast to be. Like I want this thing to be big. Like I really do. For how big I want it to be, like trust me, I would have gave up like episodes ago, man. But I really feel like we have something. You know?
Oh, believe me, I feel like I want to give up every episode. I have no idea who wants to listen to me.
I'm sure.
People want to listen to it. Just
And
it's hard to get views. You have to use like a hashtag and stuff like that to get views.
This day, we're not even talking about YouTube. This day and age, YouTube is a foregone conclusion. It is not 2010 anymore. That's all you got to know on that front. It's done. As the terms of service continue to be updated, and anything that we talk about in the sense of a deeper narrative is going to be considered the wrong narrative, and you're going to be considered the enemy.
Yeah, that's why I really do want to talk about. I really do want to do that Instagram thing I was talking about, where we start posting clips on our Instagram page for Genuine Podcast, and it'd just be funny video, bam, funny video, interesting shit.
Yeah, but lately, man, these haven't been so funny. It's just been my existentialist crisis with a fucking art form that I've grown up with since I was
Yeah, but it
probably
doesn't even need to
9
be
or
funny at
6
that point. It can really
when it
be
was Sonic
anything.
and Green Hill Zone, and now it's the Green Hill Zone is bigger than my actual town, and I've never even been to Alto.
Wait, where are you anyways? Speaking about shit like that, but no, no, like I feel like,
We're gonna genuinely dox ourselves on the Genuine Podcast, folks. You won't get this kind of content anywhere else.
No, but like,
You want me? Come and get.
What I mean though is like, I want it to be like, even if it's not funny, like, it can at least be something interesting, you know? Like it can be something that someone would at least want to hear, you know?
Yeah.
Like just little like 60-second clips, you know, like.
But then when you get into
condensing
it's hard to walk the line of what people want to hear, because it's like we're not trying to give people what they want to hear. If we gave them what they wanted to hear, we'd give them clips of like jokes and fucking
porn stars and stuff. I want to get a porn star in this show. I do.
Jokey shit.
I want to get a porn star. I want to get a porn star in here.
Stars on
That'd be
show.
funny if you actually get one in here. That would be funny.
Well, I know everyone has, but I just want to get a porn star in here though, because I feel like although it's such like a cliche, everyone's had done it. I don't know. I feel like it'd be an interesting dynamic to see you and a porn star talk. Like someone who really makes money off this shit.
I was watching Howard Stern, or listening to Howard Stern.
They probably just think of some angry fucking insert category cell here.
But that's why it'd be interesting to hear the dynamic between it, because I don't know, I feel like you going back and forward with a porn star would be interesting.
I just probably think I'm an Elliot Rodgers type. When are you gonna stab your best friends to death and shoot up the fucking downtown, and your dad's the co-director of the Hunger Games?
Yeah. I don't know. A porn star would be interesting though. But I don't know. I feel like that would actually cost money to do. Like I would really have to like.
Yeah, that would cost money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people got to start kicking some money into the Genuine Podcast coffers, which are just coughing out dust at this point.
Start a business and fucking invest in our company. Oh man. That's
Genuine
what I'm.
Podcast. We are genuinely broke.
Like I know how to. I know how to do all that. It's just getting investors. I don't know. I don't know if I could get anyone to actually invest in our.
Not with most of the shit we've said.
Yeah, no.
If you try to talk about, and that's again why it's the guise of, we're just talking about real existentialist things and things of a darker nature through the art form of interactive entertainment, because again, how is it not the mirror that shows this generation and the generation after mine better than any other medium? Just like film did for those that came about in film, just like radio did for them, and just like comics did. Every medium has its time and its place, and this is the time and place of interactive entertainment, of gaming, of video games, but it'll never truly be understood and realized in the sense of how I want it to be, where it's, and I know it's all objective, but it's like in the way we talk about it, like no one, this will be lost in what they want games to be. They want it to be a mass-produced game service, just like a subscription or a magazine or any, like Netflix or Disney Plus, or you get your entertainments when you want it, how you want it, you turn it on and you get some entertainment. And it just, again, it's this, I look at it too deeply, but I'm like, I don't want the art of, like, when I want to escape and just go somewhere and be away from my life into, like, turn into another job, turn into another hierarchy. Like, all these hierarchies that I exist in, I'm tired of being placed into them. I just want to run up and punch a werewolf in the face, and then I can, like...
And it'll feel like a werewolf?
Yeah, and not have it, like, you just did 6% of damage because the full moon is at a crescent waning, and your party member is gay. You've got a 10% chance that werewolf's fang is gonna cut your thumb, and then the blood is gonna stack on top of the stack with the stack. It's like, dude, I punched him. I punched him in the nose. That's what I saw.
That's what happened.
It's like as it gets more, and it's bullshit. People can't tell me because I play enough games to know what if I seen it in a game where it's like it can be done. Someone's done it, so it can be done. But the art form is catered to
But they've done it with a
what
cheaper
they
budget
want.
too, huh?
Yeah, and they've done it with a cheaper budget. So you can't tell me that the kind of processing power and the kind of systems and the things that games can do, like people don't also look at the
See,
games that
that
they're
is-
playing as they're just toys. Like when I was a
Oh.
kid, I would use my Ninja Turtles and I would play, and they would meet the Star Wars action figures, or they would meet the kids next door, or they would meet, like, you had all these different genres of toys, and they were just the catalyst to make different adventures. But people don't look at games like that. They look at it like, I'm playing Warframe, I'm playing Red Dead, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, I'm playing Madden. But you don't look at it where, like, imagine a horror game set in, like the 1920s gold rush, where an alien plant lands one night, like, and you like cue the Calliope. It's like,
Well, I feel like a lot of people don't take in
Stormy night,
for
one
a
night.
fact of budget in games anymore. I feel like that's something that people used to do, but I feel like people just stop caring because they keep fucking people up the ass.
oh, budgets are ludicrously expensive at this point. Kojima didn't even release the sales projections for Death Stranding as opposed to the budget
But-
because it was.
But it's like with games
I mean,
that have
that's
done
rough,
like
sure. I'm glad.
Witcher, it did not look like that was a very high budget game compared to like Destiny or
or
and for-
GTA 5.
or even GTA 5, and it's like
Yeah, man.
so they should have no excuse. Or even I would even go as far to say No Man's Sky, because as much as No Man's Sky was fraud, as much as this or that, I still have to say they did a good job of making you for the first, let's say, 4 hours
Oh
of
yeah,
the
for the
game.
first 30 minutes, first hour or so, that was the most. Yeah, I'd never experienced anything like that. To get into a ship, take off, and aim it at the horizon, and break through the strata, and then beyond.
Yeah,
that was-
and then you could.
That was a
Then-
monumental moment that year, and that was like one of the moments of 2016.
And then
Until I
and
played
then you
inside and it floored all of it.
and then you go to like then you go to
And
the
then you
next
fly
solar
to the
system.
same world for the next 24 planets and the next 35 solar systems, and then the thrill eventually wears off when you come into port and you're like, oh, that spherical satellite or that cylindrical or that cone-shaped satellite is the same satellite that I've been seeing every galaxy, and this planet with these little
It's all
gumdrop
just
creatures,
copy and paste
these
out of like
horse-shaped.
8 worlds.
I always said this of No Man's Sky. I always said there's not dinosaurs in that game. There are dinosaur creatures with dinosaur-like features.
Yeah, that doesn't feel very alien as
But there were
compared
never-
to like
You
as
go back and look at that original, and I don't know now, it could be wrong. It's been a lot of updates that I
'Cause if
and
you
people
look at,
saps like me paid for.
because if you look at what's the Warframe, that game feels alien.
Alien. Oh
Like,
yeah, man.
the
Just
only
imagine.
thing
That game's
alien
so
about
good, but I'm surprised it's free to play.
the
honestly,
only the
Warframe
only
is a
thing-
AAA game that could only ever survive as a free-to-play. That's why.
The only game I would have, like, the only thing I would say that looked alien about No Man's Sky, and I would say they did a good job, was how they did the artwork of the planets.
Well, No Man's Sky was based off of what I loved about it, the algorithm. They put a bunch of art and references in the algorithm from 1970s space sci-fi and science fiction novels. So a lot of
Yeah.
it was like supposed to look like that. Like anything you were supposed to be looking at in the game was supposed to look like the cover of like an old pulp novel or a science fiction novel. If you've ever been in thrift stores and you look at the dime cent like racks where they have all those old dusty books, you look at any of those old science fiction ones and it looks like No Man's Sky. So they nailed that.
I was geeking out about that in the beginning.
Oh yeah. Your mic is being weird. 8. Yikes, your mic's echoing.
Technical difficulties. Genuinely shitty equipment on a genuine podcast.
Man, well, I don't even think it has to do. Well, yeah, with that it's shitty equipment, but I feel like a lot of times it's our internet or your internet. Cause my internet's fine, but
Nah, my battery died just because I was been holding the Death Stranding controller since I got home. Hadn't charged it.
I was wondering how I could still hear you then.
It goes to the mic the moment that it unplugs because it was plugged in for VR. And then we did
Oh.
that first show with my sister.
Oh, so it's the
And that's why that one
TV.
has the worst audio. For anybody going back and listening to that one, if you want to follow this thing from its origins in out of alpha, that's terrible.
Well,
It's
that's
very, very
not. I
bad
wouldn't
audio.
say that's Origins actually. Origins is on the other channel, but
Yeah,
where
that's
we
for the
did.
people that were there when it was like, dude, I knew about this shit when it was called Project Blam. For
Yeah,
all you people that know,
yeah. Hey, but we did like so. For anyone that's wondering, I think this is like episode 12 or some shit, but this is really episode like 20.
Yeah, because it goes back to the Ash channel also.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to start it off in the end, get you into the universe. Then we're gonna rewind the timeline.
I mean, you can always go to that back to that channel. That channel is more that channel probably you'll have a easier
Channel is
time
more
finding.
like sound and fury signifying nothing.
Yeah, I would say I prefer actually switch when we switched over to the Genuine Podcast channel and we just changed everything up. I would definitely
Yeah.
say I preferred it in a sense of like it was nice. It was a nice little change.
Can you imagine, like you were saying, what truly is Alien? Because again, people don't. If you just play one game, you don't like. If all you play is, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, people don't have all the money in the world. Gaming is an expensive hobby. Let no one tell you it's not. It's a rich man's hobby, if anything nowadays. Like, especially if you want the whole game, you want the whole. Like, do you want to feel like Mario, or do you want to feel like a civilian, or do you want to feel like?
I
You want to feel like a true battle royale Fortnite person, or you want to feel like average Joe Fortnite?
you see I would
And that's how they get you.
I would agree with that up to an extent. The only reason why I'd agree with that up to an extent is the
Like
price of
Persona
the
5.
console.
It's been out since 2017, right? 2016.
But
And
overall
now
though,
it's complete.
I wouldn't agree with that though because alright, so how much money do you pay for cable?
I haven't watched cable since 2007.
I don't
Okay,
even have cable.
I don't pay for cable. No
well,
one has cable really anymore. I mean, yes, a lot of people have cable. Cable will never die.
I got
Boomers
rid of
have
cable so I could have super high speed internet.
But
well,
I got rid of cable in
alright.
2007.
Alright, so for the people that have cable, they're spending a lot on cable. Like
But
about
I pay for internet.
monthly. Alright, so yeah, if you
Pay for internet,
how
PlayStation
much
Plus, Twitch Prime,
alright, so how much would you say you pay for internet?
$60.
$60 a month?
Yeah.
Alright, so $60 a month, that's not bad. Alright, now alright, so let's say how much do you I don't have Netflix or I don't use it, but do any of or
I
Hulu?
think it's 4.
With Netflix but in a month because everything's changed. Like I'm making stuff, but like a console, how they have TVs nowadays, where you could just your mic's cutting out very badly. Jesus. Man. Like I don't know if I could agree with that overall though. 'Cause over time gaming. You're still cutting out. Unplug your mic, then replug it. Ten shots in it, renegade. So Oak. Okay, there. Hello? Hello? I getting goddamn booted. Just waiting for it.